Are you ready? Nope, wrong song. Wrong song, Marv. That's the outro.
Let's go crazy!
What up, everybody? It's your boy Sinfanta, and
Naughty Marv, the brave wolf.
what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
How you doing out there? My wolves.
Welcome, everybody. Hope you had a sinful week, a brave week.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Oh, thank you.
I like that. We need to say that every week. That's something we got to keep.
You got it.
Yes. We did.
So,
How you been, Sin? How you been?
I've been sintastic. I got a couple of things to tell you. How you been?
I'm doing Mondo righteous. I'm doing bravely. You know what I'm saying? Always had a great week. I love that Dipset versus Locks battle. That thing made my week, made my year. That was the best thing I seen all year.
Yes.
If you guys are into hip hop, and you didn't watch that Dipset versus the Locks, go watch. That was amazing.
Yes.
That was amazing. Shout out to Big Daddy Alucard. Shout out to Takzuki that just showed up, dropping his new battle cry, Spagublio. Okami no You Shall Reign has entered the discussion. Shout out to everybody watching.
Shout out. Thank you so much for everybody that's here live. And if you want to check us out, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe on Spotify, on Apple, and on YouTube.
Yes. So we got some good stuff for you guys this week. I almost thought we were gonna have like no news and just do like a top 10 or something, but we found like a lot of the good news. We got some news about Niantic and Pokemon Go. We got some Metroid Dread news. Some Twilight Princess news. Yeah, Twilight Princess stuff that's been talking about, and some charts from around the world about game sales. So
now, before we hop into that, what did you play this week? Did you manage to get anything going?
Just continuing my journey or my shrine hunting in Breath of the Wild. I'm at like 114 shrines. So I just need about 6 more to get all the non-DLC shrines.
I love it.
The only thing is now there's like 4 shrines that you can't get into until you beat the Divine Beast. So I'm going to have to defeat the Divine Beast, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to just get the shrines and go fight King Koopa. I mean Ganon.
Actually, I bet you can get into the there is a way to get into the shrine.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I can't say it on.
There's a glitchy way. I'm sure my boy Harmonia probably knows you hit XYZ at XYZ point and you probably can get in there. But
possibility of Marvel versus Capcom to release thanks to Eric.
You know what? We can actually talk about that. I'm gonna add that to the list last because that is actually, it's not Nintendo news, but it is something that I would love to talk about. Thank you for adding that, Alucard, because I'll talk about it at the end.
As far as me, I played Pokemon Unite. That's all I've been playing. There has been nothing else I've touched.
Yeah, man.
But let's hop right into the news because we have a lot of stuff to cover. We're gonna start right off the bat with what happened with Niantic and the backlash with that, which was insane. For those that don't know, I am going to bring it up right now. I hope you guys are aware. So Pokemon Go was a huge phenomenon that hit its stride a couple years back, and then it lost its stride for a while. And once they started releasing more Pokemon, it picked up steam again. This is an article coming from My Nintendo News. A large number of Pokemon Go community members and influencers have spoken out recently about Niantic's proposal to remove the quality of life benefits set up during the still ongoing coronavirus pandemic. With the pandemic continuing to cause chaos worldwide, fans do not think Niantic should have considered reverting the excellent changes that they introduced at the start of the COVID pandemic. Today, Niantic has written a response to the fans' reasonable demands, and sadly, it might not be what they were hoping to hear. They said, quote, to our Pokemon Go community, we appreciate your letting know your feedback. We hear you. We are humbled by your response. Not every game has such a passionate global player base that we're fortunate enough to have. That means they don't care. Like everyone else around the world, yada yada. So they pretty much just said that they heard the feedback and that they still gonna keep what they did in place. So what for those that don't know, Pokemon Go reverted back to the non-pandemic times where Pokestops are now no longer set how they were, and so you can actually double up on EXP and explore further by in-person walking. And they're promoting that, and they shouldn't be because we're not ready yet. We're absolutely not ready to be congregating in raid battles in locations and hoping that we'll be okay without transmitting, the coof.
Do you have in your head a reasonable explanation for why they wouldn't want to revert back to pandemic mode in the game? Like, what would be the corporate reason to not do that? Corporate meaning either financially they just don't want to spend the money to do it, or corporate as in it makes the game less competitive or less playable. Cause
So
I've never played Pokemon Go, so I couldn't even fathom why they would want people to go walk around right now when you could die. It's like
so
you could
what it
die.
is it's just, yeah, you could die. So what it is
Yo, you could die. Like, all right, before you even answer the question, like, listen. Imagine I'm playing Pokemon Go and I walk down the street and I die. And I die. Why would you want me to die? Why? Why would you?
what
Why did you want me to die, Niantic? All right, I'm trying to be serious, but what corporate reason? Because there's always a reason. There's always a reason they wouldn't want to do this or revert back to it. Why would they want me to die?
the answer said it's a corporate speak for we're gonna do what we want anyway. Deal with it. Dying while playing Pokemon Go is more common than you think. That's absolutely true.
I believe
So
it. I believe it. I believe it. So I'm waiting to
so,
hear if Sin knows.
so the corporate decision was that they were under the impression that coronavirus was reverting, and so therefore the profits would shoot up via projections quarterly 210% once you have more people in Wales putting in funds so that they can allocate to raid battles. That's essentially all it is.
Okay. So you're saying the game's more profitable when it's about walking around.
Yes.
Okay. So they don't want to
Well,
lose the profits of people, which I just cannot even like calculate in my head how that works. Why does the game make more money when you're walking? But
okay, I'll explain it to you. It's simple.
yeah.
If you and I've had this happen with a lady that I met through it, and after the fact, we went out and did things, and then went to do some Pokemon Go. And once you congregate at a location for a raid battle or boss battle, gym battle, whatever, you meet with whales, or and you meet with other whales, and you meet with people that are ahead, and that incentivizes even people that don't have the funds to put funds into a game that is otherwise free. So it's spread by words, spread by location, spread by socialization, and therefore it's a business decision underhandedly. So it makes it so that you buy and you're gonna want to buy because you just met somebody that bought.
Okay, so it's marketing. It's marketing essentially.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm trying to make sense of this. So for them, they're like, well, they're gonna do what they can, or just don't play the game.
Yes.
That's what I would tell people that are pissed about this. How about you talk with your wallets and talk with your time and just don't play the game. Cause we're too friendly to game developers. Like, hey, please fix this. Hey, please fix that. And then they don't do it, but we keep playing the game. How about we talk with our wallets, man? Like, don't play the game. Like, you could die. Like, come on. What's the matter with you? Come on. Rocky 3, baby. Come on. Like,
It's a good
please.
movie.
Come on. Player enters hospital. Imagine you end up picked up by an ambulance and you go to the hospital and then the hospital turns out to be a what is it called? The Pokestop?
Yeah, Pokestop.
The hospital turned into a Pokestop. And then you're like, well, this was one way to catch Mewtwo. Listen, I'm very ignorant. I've never played the game, but I'm assuming Pokestops are for catching rare Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will admit, you know, it's such a backhanded tactic knowing that people will risk limb and you know arms to get Pokemon. Like that's insane to me. And the company allows it.
Well, like I said, man, like at that point, then it's on you. Like I'm all about pro consumer ideas and saying, hey, developer or corporation, you got to make this better for the players. Like, you know, they're risking their lives to play this game if they play it the way you're telling them to play the game. But at the same time, they're not forcing you to play the game.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you go outside and you catch COVID and you know, you were catching it because you played Pokemon Go. Nobody forced you to play Pokemon Go. So like,
right.
it's tricky. Like, yeah, I want to say Niantic, like, yo, come on, stop being jerks, make it pro consumer. But yo, you don't play the game. Like, talk with your wallet, man. Like, I'm always gonna be like, yo, you have to talk with your money, man. Like, stop playing the game then.
You die in the game, you die in real life, said Drit Lancer. Oh,
yo,
boy.
the game is freaking .hack.
Hold on. Endo says on my stream, moreover, it's up to the individual to be safe when it comes to COVID. We all know the facts.
Exactly. Fucking Endo. I love Endo. That guy reads my mind. He is my twin brother in another timeline.
So, you know, I will say that in the positive, the positive side, who would have thought that a fan base, hey, Allie's here as well. Let's go.
I love Allie. Oh my God.
And who would have thought on the positive side that us as fans would actually speak with our wallets and speak with our voice? And it's happening. It absolutely is happening. Right now, Niantic is suffering huge backlash because we cared more about our health than the gaming.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I don't even think no discussion needs to be had. Like, don't even Twitter at them, bro. Like, just don't play it. Like, what the hell? Like cigarettes say on the box, this is gonna kill you if you smoke it. If you smoke it, you know, it's on you, buddy. Like, you know already this stuff's gonna kill you. Like, come on, what are you doing? Come on, Endo, tell him, Endo. Come on, Endo should be on the inside of every cigarette carton. His face and with a speech bubble that says, "Yo, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. It's on you, buddy." You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it is definitely on the individual to take care of themselves, and you cannot blame Niantic for your death.
Yeah, what's up, Wonkington?
They're not even gonna show up at your funeral. Like, Pikachu is not even gonna be at your funeral. Like, Pika, oh, he was my friend, Pika. No, there's not gonna be no Geodude, no Charizard, no Chikorita at your funeral, bro. So stop playing Pokemon Go, bro. Like, what are you doing? No, the Poke Gods commanded me to play the. Get out of here! What? Lugia came down from heaven and said, you got to play Pokemon Go? No, come on. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Come on.
No Pikachu at my funeral, says Ali. No.
No Raichu, no Blue Chew, no Pichu, none of the Chews. The Chew family is avoiding your funeral. They signed NDAs. They will not speak upon your death. None of the Chews. That's what we should call the Pikachu family, the Chews. You got Raichu, Pichu, Pikachu, Blue
Not
Chew.
the whole Chew family.
Not the Chew family. What? No, they didn't go to my funeral. And then your mom is like, why didn't the Chew family send money for this death? Blah, blah, blah. Help us with the funeral bill.
Alolan Raichu off in the corner, like, I guess I wasn't needed.
Word, man, word. So,
all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and combine these three topics together because they're all humongous.
mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk about the top 15 for different countries because it interests me. I'm not doing the whole list, but I'm just doing a couple of it to remind you that it's pretty interesting to see how the world, other areas of the world deal with video games. So in August, we have the top 15 for August, Australia and New Zealand. And the first couple are The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, Minecraft, Among Us, Mario Golf Super Rush, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still there, Stardew Valley, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, AER Memories of Old. What is that? Super Mario Party, and I believe The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Okay, that's for Australia. Now check this out. For Europe. Wait, what? My gravesite is in a Pokestop in memoriam. Oh,
Oh, Alucard said that's the real 4D experience. Word.
For Europe, we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword again. Whoa. Monster Hunter Stories 2 on second place. Minecraft still in third place. Minecraft.
People like Minecraft.
Among Us.
You know, people like
Among
Minecraft.
Us.
Well, yeah. I thought Among Us was free. Is that game you pay for that game?
No. Well, wait. In console, yes.
Oh yeah, because the PC version was free, I think.
Yeah. Game Builder Garage. What is that? Mario Kart.
Game Builder Garage is Nintendo's version of Dreams. You know that build your own game. Minecraft is a good fucking game, huh? It's a good.
And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still there. Mario Golf Super Rush, Stardew Valley, Greatest Attorney Chronicles, and Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. I am more shocked than anything that Minecraft and Among Us are still there and prevalently.
Well, Among Us is still pretty big. You know what I'm saying? It managed to have legs, that game, which I didn't think it would. But it's just coming out for PS4, PS5. So I think like Sony fans are finally getting to play it. So that might be why it's on the charts right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the eShop for the US. Here we go for the US. Number 1, Among Us. Number 2, Zelda Skyward Sword. Minecraft number 3, Stardew Valley number 4, Amnesia Collection what is that? Number 5, The Greatest Attorney Chronicles number 6, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 7. What is happening?
Well, Mario Kart games are always going to sell throughout the lifespan of every console, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Mario Golf Super Rush and Animal Crossing along with Smash Bros. Ultimate. Wow. What are your thoughts, guys? Because wow, I'm still wow. Jeez, it seems as though like Mario Kart 8, Minecraft, and Among Us are timeless right now for the whole world for the Switch.
Among Us is fun, bro. Like I think that game is gonna have legs for a while. I think Among Us has a genius concept and is really fun. And it's like, what is it? 20 players to a game? So like it's fun. That game's gonna have legs.
Wonkington says, one of the top grossing games of all time. Yeah, but that doesn't explain why people are buying the vanilla version on Switch so much. It's insane. And all 3 titles have extremely high replayability, says Endo, and Among Us is only $5, $10. That's true. Ali says I was playing Among Us mobile for months with friends.
Yeah, that game has legs. That game has legs for sure.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. What is this, Marv? What is this retro fighting game from Marx's? What is that?
Oh, okay. So, like, not really necessarily Nintendo related news, but this game is coming also to the Switch, and I thought it really excited me, because it is an Arc System fighting game that is inspired by Capcom versus SNK 2, and it's a true 2D fighting game. A lot of the 2D fighting games that we think are 2D are actually 3D now. Like Strive is a 100% 3D game, but this game is sprites. This game looks amazing. I don't know if you clicked on the video, but
Hmm.
it's said to be heavily inspired by Capcom, by not necessarily Capcom versus SNK, by Capcom and SNK games. And I think the character roster looks pretty awesome. But let me read you what they have on Nintendo Life. The title they have here is Arxis Games shares first look at Capcom and SNK inspired arcade fighter Blazing Strike. Now, one thing I will say is that, yo, Arxis can make awesome games, but they make horrible video game titles. They are the kings of horrible titles. So the passage follows with, if you have fond memories of 2D pixel fighting games and sometimes wish you could just return to the golden age, you might want to keep an eye on Blazing Strike, published by Arxis Games and developed by Rare Breed Makes Games. We first heard about this one back in May, and now in an update, the team has revealed the first look. It's not hiding the fact it takes plenty of inspiration from classics such as Capcom Street Fighter series. And then they have an excerpt from the actual Arxis that says, inspired by classic arcade fighting games from industry greats such as Capcom and SNK, the upcoming 2D fighting game from developer Rare Breed Makes Games is Blazing Strike, evokes the excitement and nostalgia of 2D pixel art genre pioneers while incorporating a unique game system with modern mechanics. And I'm like, yo, I like modern mechanics and unique game systems and incorporating 2D sprites. This is my kind of game. So we're gonna put the link in the description. I wish I could put the video in the podcast, but I'm still figuring that one out. But essentially, I think the roster looks pretty amazing. I think the cast of characters. I think Arc's just making a traditional fighting game, which they're not really developing it, but they are publishing. I think even them publishing a traditional 2D sprite fighting game is pretty amazing because if you ever played an Arxis fighting game, they're very anime, they're very crazy looking and absurd and over the top. While this looks like a very traditional Capcom SNK type of looking game, which I love. I would love to see an Arxis logo in the middle of this game somewhere. So when you guys get the chance, look up the fighter Blazing Strike. The title still sucks, but the animation is pretty awesome. It has very Dreamcast, Sega Saturn vibes to it. The roster, I mean, it is very traditional in terms of roster picks, you can tell, but it still has very unique looking characters, despite them being very Street Fighter and King of Fighters inspired. So yeah, check it out when you get the chance. Takzuki says, I mean, Blaze Blue was also sprite based, but it had that Guilty Gear madness to it. It wasn't like Capcom or SNK. No Arxis games. All Arxis games are like Arxis games. They're not ever really very Street Fighter or King of Fighters ish. This one is gonna be like the first time I've seen Arxis uh, publish, just publish it because they're not developing it. That means they're not making it themselves, but they are publishing a
Um.
very traditional fighting game. So I'm happy for
So
that.
I figured it out, Marv. So essentially, you just open a window capture device, and that's how you be able to do it. Record the page.
No. I know how to do it, but the thing is, I'm
Oh,
window
okay.
capturing me and you on Discord right now.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I would have to do two window captures, and that's what makes it tricky. Because I only have two monitors. If I had three monitors, I'll capture this monitor and then I capture the other monitor. But I only have two monitors right now. I'm probably just gonna add another monitor, and then next week we could have video presentations and whatnot, so people can see what we're
Um.
talking about. Especially for that game I just described, because I feel like I didn't do that game justice without showing you guys what the games looks like. But look up Blazing Strike when you guys get the chance. I'm very hyped for this game. Look at Marv saying big words. Mighty Pete, I will give you a buzz cut if you keep making fun of me.
A buzz cut.
Marv starts next stream with 4 monitors, one of which is a widescreen. I wish, I wish.
So
But
this game looks like a ton of fun. Anything that reminds me of Capcom and SNK, it's something that I'll bite into.
and it's coming for the
I
Switch. It's coming to the Switch.
It's coming
Switch
to the Switch.
Switch doesn't get a lot of fighting game love, so I'm happy for this. Well, let me take that back. Arxis does show the Switch love. Arc System does
Yes.
show the Switch love. They got Dragon Ball Fighters on there. They got Cross Tag on there. No Strive yet, but I think Strive might be coming soon. Strive's a beautiful game, but I think the Switch can play it. I think the Switch can handle Strive. I'm
Yeah,
hyped
it'll
for
be
the
fine.
music. Yeah, Arx's music, forget about it. I make love to Arx's game music OSTs.
Yeah,
Like,
the last time you did it, she was in love with you.
yeah, my first kid is alive because of Arc System Games OSTs. I don't even know the kid, but he's out there somewhere alive because of freaking Blaze Blue soundtrack, Ragnar the Blood Edge. I named him Ragnar the Blood Edge because of that song. Come on, what are you talking about? He's out there somewhere in Siberia.
Do you feel like Capcom versus SNK sequel should happen?
Brother, I didn't even want to get upset tonight, but
Sorry.
what you just said reminded me of what happened a couple days ago, because they did a presentation for like Street Fighter V's last few characters in the last season, and it was on the anniversary of Capcom versus SNK 2. So everybody thought like, hey, either we're gonna get a Kyo reveal for Street Fighter 5, and he'll be the first guest character. Street Fighter still has never ever had a guest character from another fighting game. So I thought that
Well,
was gonna happen on Tuesday when they showed off Street Fighter V's last character, but it turned out to be some mark named Luke, who apparently was in the the Capcom All Stars game that never came out. But anyway, um, I think that the people I think his name is Hideaki Itsuno, the director of Capcom vs SNK2, is really fighting for a new CVS, which stands for Capcom vs SNK. But I mean, it's two big companies. It's two companies that haven't really, shook hands in a while. I don't know if it could happen, but we'll see. Actually, I'm wrong. They had shook hands a couple months ago when they re-released Capcom versus SNK card battle on the Switch. But I think the waves are turning forward. I think it might happen, but we'll talk about it more when we get to the last topic, because it's a little bit related to Capcom fighting games.
a card battle.
No, it's actually a throwback game. It was on the Neo Geo, and they brought it back. It's actually not a bad game. It's actually pretty good, but I've never played it, but I've heard really good things about it. Um,
Mm.
the last
I
time Marv made love with Arc System music, he had triplets. Word, I did. I really did. Somewhere out,
Triplets.
somewhere out there, I got a little soul bad guy, Kai Kisuke, and Dr. Baldhead somewhere out there. They're all out there somewhere. I named my kids after Guilty Gear characters. So Dr. Baldhead is somewhere out there. I don't know. I don't know if he's bald or not, but I named him that when he was a baby. So maybe maybe he has hair now and like just regrets ever being born because his name is Dr. Baldhead. But
Dr. Baldhead.
poor kid, right?
No, you gotta think of better names for kids. What's wrong with you?
No, what? Dr. Baldhead is a great name. He's not gonna appreciate it as a kid. When he turns 20 and that kid can beat up everybody, and the reason he can beat up everybody is because he got made fun of so much that he turned into the most toughest, brolic, strongest kid in school because he had to fight every day because people made fun of him every day. Yeah, he is legally gonna change his name to Faust at some point because that's just in his genetics, right? That's what
I
happened to
want
Dr.
somebody.
Baldhead.
I want somebody to name my child Captain Falcon.
Yeah, that would be a great name for a kid. That would be a great name for a kid. Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh
Not even
no!
mad at that.
I know. We talked about it last podcast, but I am so hyped for No More Heroes 3. I need that game in my life.
Game of the year, game of the year, bro.
Probably.
Game of the year.
Wait.
No, for me at least, This year sucked in gaming, so I want to say that's my game of the year without even
I,
it being released.
oh, that's what I wanted to talk about the last podcast before we move on to the next topic. I feel like this year so far, video games, lo and behold, in between have been scarce, like
Well,
good video games.
well, I mean, like I understand. Like last year, we had the lockdown, like so,
Oh,
video game development stopped for a while, until they adjusted and pivoted to working at home. So I understand why this year sucks. I know why it sucks because nobody was making games last year. Does it change the fact that it sucks? No, this still sucks. This year still sucks. This year sucks in gaming. I mean, Pokemon Unite seems to be making big splashes, so that's good. Resident Evil 8 Village did all right for a little while. People were hyped for it for a little while. The hype's kind of gone already. People play it, it's gone. Skyward Sword, baby food game. That's a 10-year-old game. It's not really doing nothing. What else is this year? What else came out this year? Nothing, right? That was it. Well, no, Monster Hunter Rise is great for this year. All right, if we're talking
yeah,
about realistically, Monster Hunter Rise could get Game of the Year.
yeah, it's a good
If we're
game.
talking realistically, it's not my kind of game, but I know that that game is beloved, so I won't deny that it might get Game of the Year. Uh,
No More Heroes 3 might get Game of the Year.
for me, it's already Game of the Year without it even coming out. Just the fact that it's coming out, it makes it Game of the Year. But the last curveball that might throw everybody off is Metroid Dread because Metroid Dread. Let
Oh
me,
yeah, right.
that game might surprise everybody and be
Which,
amazing.
by the way, that's the topic that we got to discuss. Mario 3D All Stars.
That's 3 10-year-old games. Or no, what is Mario 64 is 20 years old. That's
It's a no. It's a. He's talking about the 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. It's a
oh
re-release.
yeah, that's a re-release. That's a re-release. It's not new. It's not new.
Okay. What is this news about Metroid Dread teaser? What is it? What is
So we
happening?
got a new teaser for Metroid Dread, guys, and I was pretty impressed with it. Particularly because it literally is doing what they said they were going to do with this game, which is following up Metroid Fusion and continuing the timeline of Metroid, which we haven't done in a while. But we get to see Samus with her classic orange armor. Not necessarily super classic because it still has the white and it still has the, I guess, what do you want to call that? Like very muscly looking fibers in it. But it's a little more classic. It's a little closer to the classic colors than what we got in the first Dread trailer. We also got a little bit more of the Chozo character. If you guys don't know the
What?
lore of Metroid, Chozos are the ones that built Samus's armor and trained her how to become a bounty hunter after Ridley killed her parents. But we got a little bit of Chozo. The initial thought was that this Chozo was going to be evil, but the pose that it's striking in the trailer somehow leads me to believe that's not necessarily the case. Maybe there is going to be an evil Chozo at some point, but I don't know if it's this one. Um, but yeah, it's cool. The Samus spaceship. I don't know if it ever has a real name other than Samus' spaceship, but it is exactly the same one from Fusion. So they're definitely holding tight to the lore. They're definitely holding tight to the lore. We also got Samus looking at like Chozo hieroglyphics. I think this is going to be a very, very, even more than Fusion, even more than Super. I feel like this is going to be a very lore heavy Metroid game. So I hope for all the lore loving fans, this is something that's going to like, quench their appetite. You know what I mean?
They needed to like this game needs to sell because I'm sorry, but as much as people complain about Metroid doesn't release games, Metroid's such a good game. Yeah, Metroid games are so good, yet we don't purchase them.
Yeah, Metroid games have always sold bad. Historically, since the first Metroid on the NES up to like Metroid Prime, all of them have sold horribly. So people go buy this. Like we get told, Nintendo gets told like, "Where's Metroid, yo? It's the Metroid," but then we don't buy it. Like so, I understand why they take so long to make Metroid games, but I also think that Nintendo being, they're not dumb. They're looking at all the indie games that are coming out. How many indie games? How many indie Metroidvanias come out a year that are exactly like Metroid 2D exploration games? Every year there's the new one, Hollow Knight. I don't know. I can't even name them all, but there's thousands of them on every indie marketplace. You
That's
know,
right.
so Nintendo's probably looking at that and saying, "Damn, well." If there's so many indie Metroidvania games, how come people aren't buying like the creator of this entire like genre? Like, what is going on? What's up with that? Like, how does that make sense that there's so many indie Metroidvania games, yet actual Metroid games that created the actual genre don't even sell well? What is up with that? So
Mm.
let's see how this one sells. I'm gonna buy it day one. I have not. Have I ever beaten a 2D Metroid? I don't think I've ever beaten a 2D Metroid. Have you?
Yes.
Which one?
Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, wow, I got really far in it, but I never actually beat it. I don't think I've ever beaten a 2D Metroid. So this is gonna be my first, and I'm hyped for it. This might become most people's game of the year if it lives up to the hype and if people actually buy it. So let's see what happens. Taco's right. There's hundreds and hundreds of Metroidvanias every year getting released from indie developers. So it's weird. It's weird that those games there's millions of them, yet nobody buys Metroid games. It's really weird,
I,
but we'll see.
it's Nintendo's fault in part because they don't market Metroid as much as they should.
You think this one's getting proper marketing? This game
No,
comes out in October.
still no,
That's what I'm
still no.
saying. This game comes out in October, and I haven't seen a lot of it. So, it
And then the opposite happens for Star Fox, where they they don't try enough to make it a new game or a new approach. They just go back to square one, and then they promote it heavily as though it's gonna be a great thing, and then they flop, and then they wonder why Star Fox flops. And I'm just like,
well, the reason the last Star Fox flopped is just the controls.
yeah, because it was a good game.
If they had that game with traditional controls, also they keep remaking the same Star Fox game over and over, bro. Remember, Star Fox 64 is a remake. Star
Yeah.
Fox Zero is a remake of that remake.
And what's funny is that, to be fair, for me, I enjoy the controls. They just made it so difficult that I was like, okay, I'm gonna get through these controls, and I loved it. But not everybody's gonna feel that way, you know. Not
I
everybody's gonna want it, you know.
I couldn't play Skyward Sword. I brought that game day one. I couldn't play it. The controls were so
Oh my god,
crazy.
it's so
It's
bad,
because
so
Nintendo
bad.
Nintendo wants to prove that their gimmick on their new console is like you could make a whole game with this gimmick. No, Nintendo, you can't make a whole game with a gimmick, bro. Relax. You gotta relax, bro. But
Um,
Takzuki says Star Fox has the problem of half the games being Star Fox 64. But again, yeah, exactly what we just said. Exactly. They're all
uh,
remakes. Can we
this
advance the story in Star Fox 2 also, please?
yeah, yeah, this MVC2 is gonna be the last topic you want to discuss because I want to talk about the Twilight Princess.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to Twilight Princess. That's fine.
Okay, so a lot of us that play Twilight Princess, and by the way, in sales wise, it also speaks. Twilight Princess is the most beloved game in the series so far because it was very adult oriented. So for the mature audience, we love the theme. We love the atmosphere, the graphics, everything about it was great. Even the HD one, that it was great. And we always thought that they would do something akin to a sequel, and they were going to. However, and this is why I'm happy Miyamoto is no longer fully involved in the Zelda series, and he's starting to pull away from games, and he's actually trained others to take over the reins. Around that time was for the. I'm sorry. I hope they bring Twilight to Switch. Wait, am I confused? Didn't they? No,
No,
no, they
there's no
didn't.
Twilight on Switch.
Okay. Um. Oh, it's for the emulator. So around that time when we had the Twilight Princess release, they were gonna do a sequel a year or two later. And this is when I say that Miyamoto started to show the fact that he was starting to pigeonhole his mind. So the team got told they were gonna make a sequel. They started building on a world with the same assets as Twilight Princess. They started building on an actual sequel, as opposed to what Majora's Mask was, where it was a side story. Um, Twilight Princess was meant to be a sequel, through and through. And so they started working on it, and halfway through, Miyamoto decided, no, cut everything off. I want to be able to use the crossbow gun. Remember Link's crossbow training?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the sequel. And he said that he wanted to cut off all kinds of stories, all kinds of elements that remind him of Zelda, because he wanted to just have a for fun for everyone at the time, because the Wii was selling like hotcakes. Shooting on rails, shooting for Zelda. What ended up happening is that he and the development team ended up fighting back and forth continuously, because all he wanted was, which is fine, all he wanted was a simple mechanic presentation of gameplay, which it was fun, and that I get it. You know, if a game is playable and it's fun, you don't need much else to sell you on the game. However, Legend of Zelda has always been about the lore. No matter what you do, you cannot separate it. You can have good gameplay, but you cannot just be like no lore. And so he cut off everything, and the development team just said, well, you know what? At least give us boss fights. What did Miyamoto do? He gave him one boss fight. That's it. Link's crossbow training was supposed to be the sequel, and what we got was complete and utter garbage. So I'm happy Miyamoto is gone. I played crossbow training. I liked it for what it was, but we never got a sequel, and I'm hoping that we get the HD version for the Switch. Thoughts, guys?
Um, me personally, I did not like Twilight Princess, mainly because of when they force you to play with the dog. I think playing with the dog controls are horrible. It seemed like a cool concept in theory, but searching for those bugs when you're playing with the dog, I just felt like that was just filler. I feel like it was just to waste your time, and I think the dog's attacks weren't that cool. Around the same time that Twilight Princess came out, Okami came out, and Okami had dog fighting gameplay that was way, 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 way better than Twilight Princess. Also, Twilight Princess had the bad unfortunate luck of coming out um at the end of the GameCube's lifespan. So it came out for the GameCube and for the Wii as a launch title.
Where did you play it?
I played it on GameCube,
Okay, good.
and it just looked like shit by the time it came out. Like the game looked horrible compared to everything that was coming out for Xbox 360 and PS4. So I mean PS3. That was PS3 at the time. So I did not have an affinity for that game. Also, I felt like um I don't know. There just wasn't a lot there. Like I feel like the game wasn't even about Link or Zelda. It was more about Midna. And Midna's a great character. I like Midna. I don't have nothing against Midna. But when I play a game that's called The Legend of Zelda, I want Zelda to be in the game at least, or I want to play as Link. Like I don't want a game. If the game was gonna be all about Midna, then just make the game called The Legend of Midna or something. But
No, you're wrong. You should have played it to the end.
I did play. I beat the whole game. I beat the whole game.
No, no, you're thinking
I beat the whole game. I beat the whole
it was.
game. The
It
game is.
wasn't about Midna.
It is about Midna. What is it about?
Oh, it's about Zelda.
How? At what point does it become about
Because
Zelda?
Midna is the princess of dark and Zelda is the princess of light.
Yeah, but Zelda plays no part in the game besides showing up in the beginning with the little cloak on, and then showing up at the end, and you have to fight her at the end because she gets possessed by Ganon. That's the only thing that Zelda does in that game. Everything else is about the Twilight Realm. Everything. Like I played it again on the HD version for the Wii U, and I still felt the same way. Like, why the hell is this game so much about Midna? And it's not even really about like Zelda and Link. Like I feel like they're secondary players in their own story. Like I didn't understand that.
I love to just find the only gripe I had with the game was Miyamoto's influence was already showing. There were times that and the game was, you know, for my age, and I was already an adult. The game did feel eerie and creepy. I like the atmosphere, but they that doesn't make it difficult enough. Like Miyamoto was already making fights too easy.
It was
Like
so easy. Oh my god, bro. I hated when I got to a boss and he looked tough and then he was baby food. I was like, why is this game so easy? I got to the final fight with Ganon and it's a sword fight. And I'm thinking this is gonna be the best sword fight of my life. I remember Wind
and it
Waker.
looked great, but it was so bad.
It was so easy. Like, what is this, man? What were you thinking? Like, why is this game baby food? And the reason it's baby food is because when the Wii came out, everything had to be family friendly. So I figured they made the game family friendly and made it easy so that anyone, your grandma,
Nah,
could play it.
Miyamoto was already freaking.
That's what I'm saying.
Influencing.
Miyamoto was the guy. He's Mr. Family Friendly. That's what I'm saying. Like
He was at some point. He was, I get it. All respects, all props to the man, but he's out of touch at this point. And
yeah, he's old.
I will
He's
say
old.
though, the fight with Ganondorf,
It looks
the
cool.
music,
The
and
music,
it looks so good though.
Everything looks badass, but when you play it, it's super baby food. That is baby food game to the max. My little baby cousin can beat that game blindfolded, and while eating actual baby food, he can probably beat that game.
They literally give you the lock-on option to be able to throw your bombs into the opponent's back.
Like, yeah, man. Like, no, this game is super easy. And I remember I was in the Sky Temple, and you have to fight the bird in the sky, and I'm thinking this is gonna be the most epic thing ever. And it's super easy. Like, god damn it. Like, what the hell? I wanted to fight this boss for months. I fought him for minutes. Come on.
That's what I like about Breath of the Wild, that you can choose how strong or weak you want to be. And then there's times that it doesn't matter how strong you are, you will come across a monster that will freaking rail you.
Bro, I am Rambo. I am the brave wolf. Like, if you're not going to give me a difficult freaking Zelda game, don't give it to me, man. I am the one who thinks Majora's Mask is the best Zelda game of all time, and that is the hardest Zelda game. You gotta have hair on your chest to play Majora's Mask, bro. You can't go in there with wide eyes and green nipples, bro. You gotta go in there with a bandana on, bro. Like, why the hell was Twilight Princess so easy? I don't even want a sequel. I don't even want a freaking shooting game. Give me something with hair on its chest. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I get it, Takzuki. You love Twilight. I think it could have been a great game. The graphics look like shit. Playing with the dog feels like shit. Midna she's cool, but it's like, why am I playing her game? She looks like a little freaking, and then she had like little sexual innuendo things, and I'm like, yo, she looks like an imp. Like, I'm not gonna be sexually aroused by this thing, bro. Like, come on, what are we doing over here? I love the song when she almost dies though, when you're taking her to get saved or whatever, and she passes out. If they kept the concept of the wolf having the sword in its mouth and being able to attack on its own, that would have been cool.
Ooh.
But they got rid of that concept. It's in the concept art if you look at the Hyrule Historia, but
yeah,
like the sword was supposed to be in the dog's mouth, like the Master Sword, and he was supposed to be able to fight with it. They got rid of that though, because they wanted you to use Midna attacks.
I believe in the future, we've been spoiled by Breath of the Wild. I think they're gonna have to start making a hybrid of Breath of the Wild with dungeon-esque old school.
I hope not. I
mean, we're gonna have to concede at some point, because you're gonna have the old fans that are gonna be like, oh, well, shrines aren't enough, and it's like, well, here, take these dungeons that are optional on the sides. Here, take them.
I hope not. Oh my god, I hate the old dungeons.
I love this. Breath of the Wild was 10 out of 10 for me. I love that I can do anything, whenever, whatever item, however I want. There's so many things you can do in the. Oh, so good.
I feel like the old dungeons are linear and they are key based. Like, it's about finding an item that helps you beat the dungeon, but that item is actually a key. When you pick up the item, you're gonna be able to do something else in another room in the dungeon that's gonna unlock another door. And that's the whole strategy for every Zelda game since Ocarina. Bro, like, I want every dungeon in every Zelda game going forward to be like Ganon's Castle in Breath of the Wild. Ganon's
Oh, by the
Castle,
way,
you can go
did you
anywhere.
try to rush into the Breath of the Wild castle when like right away? Because I did.
I did because they told me that the Hyrule Shield was there and it's like really durable. It's really like strong, and
Ah!
so yo, I rushed in there and got my cheeks clapped. Cheeks clapped. But yeah, I want the dungeons in Zelda games going forward to be like Ganon's Castle. You can get into Ganon's Castle like 10 different ways, and there's 10 different ways to get all the way to the top to fight Ganon. And there's so many secrets and so many things in that dungeon. I don't think that every dungeon needs to be as big as Ganon's Castle in Breath of the Wild, but take inspiration from it because it had style, it had great music. The problem with the Divine Beast is that they all look the same on the inside and they all have the same music and same like atmosphere. Like they had no personality. I feel like if they gave the Divine Beast more personality and made them like a little more like Ganon's Castle, like they're on the ground, they're not like moving robots and stuff like that, then it'd be cool. Like I think people would be happy with that. But no, I do not want them to go back to light these torches, get this key, open this door, repeat and recycle. Like no, hell no, I don't want to go back to that.
I like that there's been and I've seen this happen so many times when Breath of the Wild was just freshly out. I like that you can defeat shrines in your own unique ways at times. There's times that you can
At
do.
times, you can do it anytime. You can beat every shrine in a million different ways.
Yes.
Why would I want to go back to a dungeon that it's like, play it this way? If you don't do what I tell you to do and go where I tell you to go, then you're not going to be able to move forward. Like, why would I want that? Hell no. What do I look like? Somebody that doesn't like Rocky 3? I love Rocky 3. I'm going to play
Rocky Three
Rocky
is a good
3. Come
movie.
on.
What's the matter with you?
Hell no, I don't want to go back to the old dungeons. Oh man, I'm gonna be so mad at Breath of the Wild 2 has old school dungeons, bro. I get it, Taco. You like old school dungeons. It's cool. Go live in there. Go marry one. I'm good, man. Give me
So
give me that. Give me that. Give me that.
so what? Finally, the last topic. What is this MVC two you're talking about?
Mi
What's
amigo,
happening?
mi amor, mi gente, mi familia. Listen, so for a long time now, especially on my stream, I have gotten viewers saying that Maximilian Dude doesn't do enough for reviving fighting games. If you don't know who Maximilian Dude is, he's probably the biggest fighting game YouTuber on the planet. If you're in the FGC, if you're part of the fighting game community, Maximilian Dude is the guy you watch on YouTube. He is the one you're getting updates from. He's the one you're watching when a new fighting game comes out because he's gonna play it day one, probably even before it comes out. People were like, "Yo, whenever Max plays a game, that game gets a boost on Twitch streams. Like everyone plays it on Twitch, and the game gets revived, as in like the game gets more viewership and it gets more players." Now, almost a year ago, he revived Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He actually had a online like functional Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament through Parsec, and apparently it went very well. So recently, maybe this week, he released a video called Free Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is probably the most beloved of any of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. It is the one where they were just like, yo, let's throw everybody in here and let's put some really jazzy music. Let's put the stages to look 3D for the first time. And let's just have a lot of fun with this, man. I feel like they had a lot of fun making Marvel 2, even though it was on a budget, because you could tell the presentation isn't the best. But that's the one people love because it has everybody. Now, the situation that happened when Disney brought Marvel, it became a lot more difficult for Capcom to make or re-release old Marvel fighting games. And Capcom used to make all the Marvel fighting games. Yeah, Marvel Capcom 2's music is absolutely jamming. That's another game I make love to. And I have a couple kids out there named freaking Iron Man and freaking Captain Commando. I don't know where those kids are
This
either.
is true love making.
Yeah.
This is true
Well,
love
that's
making.
Capcom versus SNK, but that Capcom versus K is definitely influenced by Marvel too, as far as stages go and music. But Marvel 2's most famous song is "I'm Gonna Take You for a Ride."
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, so Max came out with a video saying "Free Marvel 2" because presents. Yeah, that's one of the great Marvel songs. But so Capcom, I'm not Capcom. Maximilian Dude made a video called "Free Marvel versus Capcom 2," and he actually pointed out that there's this development company that's very good at getting old school games reborn on modern consoles, and I think they're called Digital Eclipse. Digital Eclipse re-released the DuckTales games in HD. They re-released the Disney collection of Aladdin, Lion King. I think there was one more. I think Mickey's Magical Castle. So if you're still following me, I know there's a lot of rambling in this, but did
No,
this
I'm
thi-
following.
this company is very good at bringing back old Disney Capcom games. If you know Capcom, they used to make all the Disney games back in the day. So he told everybody, "Hey, go on Twitter and use the hashtag free MVC2 and put digital clips in there and see if they can get them to bring back MVC2 on modern consoles, meaning we could get even a Switch version, we can get a PS5 version, Xbox, whatever the new Xbox is called version, and let's see what can happen. Let's see if these guys can make it happen." Digital Clips actually responded and see they're gonna look into it and they're gonna see if they can bring the game back. So could you imagine in today's world if we get a Marvel 2 rollback netcode on the Switch, PS5, whatever the Xbox is called, and Steam or PC? Just imagine that. Like, yo, I would lose my mind. Especially if it gets on the Switch. I would love to play Marvel 2 handheld. I would love to play Marvel 2 on the Switch. Oh my god, I can't even imagine
And
if
there's
that
no reason for
happens.
it to not be able to run on it.
It's a
So
20-year-old game. That game came out in 1999. 20-year-old game. But Disney, when they brought Marvel, they definitely made it a lot more difficult for Capcom to re-release the old games.
Disney has ruined so many things.
I have mixed opinions about Disney. I love them for the fact that they brought Marvel and made them the most popular thing on the planet. Marvel is probably that brand is international. It's worldwide. They probably know about Marvel on planet freaking Jupiter, bro. Like people probably know about Marvel all the way on Jupiter now because Disney brought Marvel. But they also made it really hard for old school Marvel stuff to be alive today. They made it really, really, really difficult, especially Marvel versus Capcom series.
Well,
So
Maximilian dude has a lot of followers, so maybe they'll see all that, criticism.
Maximilian Dude is, he gets a lot of criticism because, like I said, he can play a game and bring it back from the dead. Because if he plays a game, all his viewers are gonna want to go play that game also, and all of them are gonna stream it also. Because there's so many fighting game FGC people that love and watch every Max video. So if he says, "Hey, go put free MVC2 on Twitter," everyone's gonna do it. I did it, and I don't do any hashtags on Twitter, bro. I've never been for a cause on Twitter. I don't care if Mars is invading Earth and it's like help Earth defeat Mars. I'm not gonna do it.
Too bad.
I don't let him in. Let's see what happens, bro. Let him in.
If you don't, those that are saying you don't want Mars pull, you lying.
Word. Who knows what could happen, bro? They got chicks with three. I'm not gonna say the rest of the word.
Nintendo says also Maximilian dude. Who the is Steve? That's Steve from Minecraft. That's true. When he saw Steve in Smash Bros. Review,
Yeah.
Maximilian was
I
like,
said that too. I was like, who the hell is Steve? But Max is great for the FGC. He's definitely the ambassador to the FGC for a lot of people. And when I first created my first YouTube channel, which was Villainy Games, forget about it. We were just trying to copy whatever Max was doing back then. And it was a lot of fun. And still, he's probably the YouTube channel that I watch the most. I probably watch Maximilian Dude more than Game Theory or freaking anybody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mama Kara, hey.
Everybody say hi to Mama Kara.
I probably watch Max more than anybody on YouTube. So yeah, man, let's see if he makes this happen. If he gets Marvel 2 on modern consoles, it's Marvel, baby. Let's see what happens, man. I'm all for it. So guys that are watching this podcast and have not done the free MVC2 on Twitter, go do it, man. Just to see if it's possible. Just to see if we can dream again. You know, we haven't dreamed in video games for a while. Like you remember when Kingdom Hearts 3 was a dream? You remember when I mean it's a crap now, but I'm just saying when it was a
No.
dream. You remember when Shenmue 3 was a dream? You remember when The Last Guardian was a dream? Like we didn't think that game was ever gonna come out and it finally came out. What game now is a dream to you? Like
I'm hoping a new Star Fox game comes out. That's my dream.
that's a dream. Metroid Dread was a dream. I guess
Oof.
Prime 4 is a dream now. Because we don't know if that game's ever coming out. Bayonetta 3 is a dream. But if Marvel 2 comes back, and it comes back with rollback, oh my God, it's going to take us for a ride. Yeah, Max Dude. Shout out to Max Dude. I really take a lot of inspiration from that guy. Especially being a content creator, he was like the role model for me. You know what I'm saying? And I got a friend called Eric, dude, that I make fun of because he looks just like him. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine getting him on a podcast.
Max, dude, he actually works with a lot of other YouTubers and streamers, so you never know.
Marvel vs. Capcom 4 got to pull a Smash Ultimate move to come back, maybe. Oh, the Tekken versus Street Fighter game, that's a dream now.
Yeah, that's a dream. That game is definitely a dream. Marvel 4 is a dream, but I don't even know if I want Marvel 4 because the thing with Marvel Infinite is that it's not based on the comic books, it's based on the movies. So the characters and the roster they chose for that game were based on who's popular in the movies. And the thing with the movies is that in the movies we don't have X-Men. In the movies we don't have Fantastic Four. In the movies, we don't have a lot of stuff yet. So if they make a new Marvel 4, we might not get Wolverine. We might not get Doctor Doom. We might not get Storm. We might not get Magneto. We might not get Sentinel. Because they haven't been in movies. And that's the downside of Disney buying Marvel because they just want a product that's going to help promote the movies.
We're just gonna get the teenage kids from the mutants.
Well, I guess if the Ninja Turtles are there, we got functions, baby. Oh my God! So the biggest and worst publicity that Marvel Infinite ever got was when Combo Fiend said that characters are just functions. Because they were like, "Yo, where's the X-Men?" And he was like, "Yo, the X-Men characters are just functions, bro. Everybody likes Magneto because he has 8-way dash." Nova got 8-way dash. Oof, that game has such bad publicity, bro. That game, they were doing horrible PR. Horrible PR. And the thing is, he's not wrong. A character is a function. When you pick a Rekka character, he's a function. He's a Rekka character. When you pick a Shoto, he's a function. He does the functions of a Shoto character. When you pick a Rushdown, he's a Rushdown. He kind of plays similar to other Rushdowns, but fans don't want to hear that shit, man. Nobody wants to get told your character is not in the game because he's just a function. Fans don't want to. He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong. I'm not mad at him for saying it. Somebody at Capcom probably told him to say that because he was promoting the game himself.
Right.
But that was the worst thing you could have ever said to somebody that said, "Where's Wolverine?" Wolverine's a function. Like, yo, that is the worst thing. What? My favorite character of all time is just a bunch of moves and attacks and freaking and mobility. Every character is attacks and mobility.
It's just a function.
But nobody wants to hear it in those words. I mean, I guess I'd be mad too if somebody told me that Terry and Captain Falcon and Paul from Tekken are all functions. Yeah, I guess I'd be mad too, but
Function versus Function Infinite DLC 3 Function Edition.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, man.
guys, let us know in the comment section on YouTube, or just let us know here what dream games you guys think you might want to see come out soon in the near future.
What's
Um,
your dream game? What's your dream game, bro?
you already know mine. Mine is Xenoblade sequel. That's my baby.
But that dream could happen anytime because Xenoblade is doing good right now.
You'd be wrong about that.
No, Xenoblade is super popular. What are you talking about?
Being popular doesn't mean that you're gonna get it. Well, you know what?
It
If
does
anything,
mean
Star Fox is the one that worries me.
okay. So Star Fox is your dream game. Mine is probably a Final Fantasy Tactics. That's probably my dream game.
Oh,
A new a new
that'll be
a new Final Fantasy Tactics on the Switch would be my dream game. That's definitely for sure. Let us know your dream games in the chat before we end the podcast, guys. A new Final Fantasy, or even port. Let me take that back. A port of the original Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, on the Switch in 60 frames per second because the PSP version runs at like freaking 10 frames or something like that. It runs horribly.
What?
Um,
10
uh, yeah, it plays bad. My dream game is a new FFT. If I can't get it, then I'll make it my damn self. Well, I mean, you got Octopath Tactics or whatever it's called. What is it called? Triangle Strategy, which is a horrible name, but that's Octopath Tactics, I guess. So, I mean, for Octopath fans, that's a good placeholder for the Final Fantasy Tactics, but I don't think that'll do it for me. I need to cast Firaga and summon Odin and freaking Ifrit. If I can't summon Odin and Ifrit during battle, then I don't feel like playing a tactics game.
a sequel to Crystal Chronicles that actually has a better interaction online.
Who said that? Paulie?
No, me.
Yeah. Yeah. If a sequel to Crystal Chronicles came out with better online and actual interactions between outside of dungeons, yeah, that'd be amazing. Triangle Strategy is looking amazing, but doesn't have the customizability that FFT does. Exactly. That's why I'm not too big on Triangle Strategy. It looks good, but I don't know, man. I want that Final Fantasy feel in my tactics game. I wanna change job classes and pick ninja and then learn double wield when you hold two swords. I want
Right.
that, man. I want dual wield. I want that, bro. I don't want Triangle Strategy is good, but I don't think it's gonna do it for me. The graphics look amazing though, but nah, not for me. But yeah, man. For you guys that want to help out in the freedom of Marvel 2, go to Twitter and put free MVC 2. And if
Free MVC too,
and
and then
if
Maximilian do to help you out.
yeah, and let's see what happens. And if you want to help Sin and me with our dreams, do hashtag free FFT, or for Sin's case, free Star Fox,
I wish.
and let's see what happens. The more vocal we get on social media, it actually does help. It actually does, because we got the Sonic movie changed, maybe, unless that was a scam.
That was a scam.
I kind of think it was a scam too, but if it's true that we did get the Sonic movie changed, then that means fans have power. So, if you're a romantic like me and you just want to say yes, we fixed something as fans through social media, then you can use the Sonic movie as proof that fans do have power. If you're a cynic like Sin, I guess, then you can say, nah, it's that was a scam. That was always the
I'm a
plan.
realist. I'm not a cynic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a scam. Like 80% of me thinks it was a scam. 80%. And then 20% thinks, no, we did change the world somehow as fans.
Bro, they did a turnaround on that animation within a month. That's sus.
I know. It was definitely super sus. It was definitely super sus. But if you want to be a dreamer, you can think that, hey, we fixed the Sonic movie. And that movie made a lot of money. which kind of leads to it being more sus because it was like, did you guys just do that to build publicity?
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you want to be a dreamer, then go to Twitter and put a hashtag together, free Marvel 2 or free Final Fantasy Tactics, free Star Fox, or hashtag where the hell is Metroid Prime 4? You know,
If you go on Twitter, make sure you know what you're getting into though. It's like toxic town. Just make sure you mute responses.
I mean, maybe. I mean, you might get a response from freaking Miyamoto. No story. Only, uh,
And
only
just
motion
shoot it.
controls. Only motion controls. Alucard says, if you want a scam, Def Jam scammed us. We made them 1 million followers and they didn't deliver a new. Oh, okay. So let me explain what Alucard is saying. So the company Def Jam, the record label, they said if they get 1 million followers, they were gonna reveal something about the new Def Jam game. Which, if you weren't around in the early 2000s, the Def Jam games were pseudo wrestling games, but you played as rappers. They were popular in that time era, and it was loved. I think the Def Jam games were almost like universally loved. I don't think anybody that played Def Jam hated Def Jam. I think everybody loved those games. Did you ever get a chance to play Def Jam Vendetta or Fight for New York?
Oh yeah, I was actually super into it. That's where I learned a lot of the songs.
Yeah, yeah. Def Jam,
Come and take a walk with me.
yeah, Def Jam wrestling games were amazing, bro. Like, those games have no reason to be as good as they were, especially when they were made by EA Sports. EA, like the most evilest video game company.
We don't talk about EA anymore.
I hate EA. I hate Activision, EA, and Ubisoft. But they actually did good with Def Jam. They actually did good. But we were supposed to get a reveal for like a Def Jam 3 if Def Jam the company got 1 million followers on Twitter, and they never revealed it. They played us. They totally played us with that.
We got played out.
Yeah, we got played. No sleep, no food, no story, just games.
I think Miyamoto still has like that
Oh
old
my
school
God,
mentality of
out of
like, yo, just jump and hop.
control.
They played us like a damn fiddle. But I guess Def Jam 3 would also be my dream game. I would do like crazy things if they told me I'd get a Def Jam 3 if I did these
And
crazy things.
DMX will be the final boss.
Now that he passed away, I think a Def Jam game would have to tribute him in some way if it came out.
Yes. He
Either
could be the
final boss or like the most hardest character to unlock in the game, or both. He could be both. DMX could be the ultimate unlockable character because I think he was like the biggest Def Jam artist ever.
Yeah.
I think he might have been because
Yeah.
after he would left Def Jam fell down. They weren't. That's another thing too. Okay, if we're gonna talk about Def Jam for a little bit, I don't want to stay on it for too long, but Def Jam today is not what Def Jam was in the '90s and 2000s.
Oh no.
Oh, there's nobody there. There's nobody who's at Def Jam anymore. So
I don't know.
who would you even put in a video game if you released it with rappers today? Another thing about rappers from the 2000s that's different from today. Rappers today are people. Rappers today rap about depression, anxiety, worries. They still rap about money and women, but they also have a lot of humanistic elements to them. Rappers,
and they ain't hard. That's another thing. They ain't
they're
hard.
not hard. Now, rappers from the 2000s were like superheroes. When you watch a 50 Cent video and he's hanging upside down and you see how brolic he is, he wasn't a human. He didn't rap about problems. He rapped about like getting women and money and being able to kill anybody. Rappers were not considered people. They were like built like superheroes. They were comic book characters. Rappers were comic book characters back in the 2000s. Even with all the CGI in their videos and you get all this like crazy digital effects and you see them in these situations that a normal human being couldn't be in.
Or also modern raps, mumble, mumble, mumble. Yeah, that's how they're gonna fight. They're just gonna mumble at each other.
I don't even think mumble rap's that big anymore. I think drill rap is the new thing. Yeah, MF Doom was both. He was a comic book character and a rapper from the 2000s.
Oh man,
But yeah,
shout out, yo, R.I.P.
DMX, 50 Cent, anybody that was big in the 2000s, they were larger than life. They weren't humans. Because when you see them in videos and in conversations and all that stuff, getting shot 9 times, or DMX like having like these giant rock waters with him all the time, they were larger than life. Rappers today are not larger than life. They're more human, which is not a bad thing. They talk about mental health and humanistic problems. Kanye goes through all sorts of ups and downs in his career, but he seems human. Rappers back then were not Method Man, Redman, freaking DMX, Ghostface Killer. All these guys, they were larger than freaking life. They were not human beings.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the difference between rap today and rap back then. I didn't think it was all one scheme until Sin pointed out it took like a month to come back. Yeah, about the Sonic thing. Sonic, they said if you're gonna fix a whole CGI movie, it would take about a year to fix it. The Sonic movie got fixed in like a month. So yeah, that's very, very sus. What up, Furby? ASAP Ferb in the building. We're talking about rappers today versus rappers in 2000, but I think it's time to end this show. What do you think, Sin?
Yeah, I think we need to wrap it up. But guys, make sure you check us out live on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. And if you got any suggestions for any future topics, let us know on our social medias. My name is the same on every social media. And it's twitch.tv/Sinfanta. And you, Mark?
It's time we land is playing Bravehearts and Sinners. That's what you call your viewers, right? The Sinners?
The Sinners.
Yeah. So, Brave Wolves and Sinful Foxes, because Sin's a fox player, so I'm going to call them Sinful Foxes. It's been an awesome episode. I love this episode. This episode was good. This episode was great. I really appreciate you watching.
Everybody.
Hold on, before you do that, guys, make sure you leave us a review on Apple also, guys. If we want this podcast to be successful, we need reviews on Apple, guys. So do us that solid. Be sure to check out the podcast on Napster. Yes, Takzuki, even on Napster. So please, guys, do everything you can to give us a review on Apple. That's where it counts. Let us be successful, you marks. Anyway, now, Sin, you can continue your spiel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. You'll catch us next week. I love you guys. I love your caras. And as always,
mission complete!
9, 8, 7,
take us away.
3, 2, 1, 0.
We await your return, Braveheart.